you doing, baby? Happy, what's today? Wednesday. And today for a coffee and conversation with your girl, Shakenya. When you get a minute, go to that YouTube channel, Shakenya, and hit subscribe, guys. Look at some of the videos, and if you see anything that you like, just hit share, guys. Please and thank you. I'm still not famous. I'm still not a household name. People still don't trust and believe what I say is real. So it's like it's taking some time. They're coming around, but it's taking a minute. But if you promote and share and support, they'll be like, oh dang, well shoot, if such and such shared it, it must be. Let me see. Let me check out a couple of her videos. Let me go to her YouTube channel and see what she's talking about, right? I'm sorry, guys, whoever this is. I think this is TikTok. Yeah, but only because you shared it on your page. You know, you are a prominent individual in their eyes. You are somebody they believe in. You are. Let me get something else. You are somebody that when you say what you say and you mean what you say, you do what you do, you know they believe when you say it. So when you post it on your page, it's like, well, dang, so Shakenya might be on to something. Let me check her out, right? And then they go for themselves and they look at the other videos and they be like, well, shoot. And then they look at one of the videos with me in my office and they see all those degrees on my wall. And it's like, oh, shoot, wait a minute. Well, not degrees, 1 degree. Several certificates. Because people are calling me out on it. I don't let me pump my brakes. 1 degree. About to get the next one, but you know, calm down. Okay. So summer school is over. How did you do? Yep, it was a nice little refresher course. Yeah, you feel confident. Yeah. Did you think of some things that you missed after taking summer school? Any classes that you could have, should have taught that you didn't? Any classes you're about to try to teach now, regardless of how long it's been? You still feel that your children might need to benefit from that? Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. So now we're back. So I want you to bring your boards out. Yeah. We about to, you know, summer school over now. So we about to get back into those manipulation tips. I know, don't nobody want to talk about them. I don't either, but because of while we're here, I have to. Yeah, I have to. So let's see. I'm gonna try to stay the script because this is a lecture day. Considering you're just coming out of summer school, I'm getting you ready for college. You are a senior now. So now we're talking about manipulation tips from your 9th grade year. We're talking about the psychological damage it has had on your children. We're talking about the adverse effect that it has had on your kids. So we got a lot in the mix. We're talking about roles, reputation, respect, representation, responsibility. We're bringing all that into the fold. So now that we covered all the classes, now we're about to bring them into the classes, and we're about to see how they work and how they function and how they contribute to your child's growth and development. So let me see. Realizing you didn't teach, looking at your children, seeing how they develop. Is there anything you didn't teach or anything you could have went over? Now back to your boards. Trying to figure out who is using your baby against you, who turning your child against you, who is teaching your baby to mistreat you, and who's allowing your baby to disrespect you. Fix it. Jesus, what world are we living in? Fix it. Jesus, fix it. In most cases, get back to you, when you look at your board, it's most likely your baby mama and your baby daddy and their people. All right, their camp is on your board. In the beginning, we ruled out your family. Because your family, they don't, you know, you got a couple haters, a couple people that's probably jealous of you and your family, but ain't nobody trying to take your baby away. Ain't nobody, I guarantee you, trying to turn your child against you. So they're not really planting any seeds now. So although you might have some family members that are jealous, they can be recruited by the other side. Yep, if they had a relationship before maybe, or got a relationship with during the time you guys were together maybe, you know, they can be convinced, they can be swayed if they feel some kind of way about you, but they wouldn't be planting the seeds. I think they would be probably an accessory, or they can be guilty by association. Yeah, so they're guilty by association, all your suspects and people that's on your board that's contributing to the deterioration of you and your baby, meaning that they didn't do nothing to stop it. They didn't do nothing to jump in. They didn't do nothing while this other parent was doing all this and saying all this about you to destroy the relationship. People on the sidelines just watched it happen. Did nobody step in and ask why? Did nobody ask none of the necessary questions? So that's why they're labeled guilty by association, because it's a good chance that they probably have influence over your child in some kind of way, and they could have jumped in and did something. They could have said something. They could have helped, right? So they allowed it to happen. They took sides and probably encouraged it. Yeah. All these people that's guilty, not because they planted the seeds, I said that, but because they're guilty by association because they didn't do anything. They didn't plant the seed, but they tended to the garden. They watered it. They fertilized it. They made sure it wasn't any weeds growing. Why? Because they continued. Yeah, so if you're in a situation where your mother, your baby mama, your baby daddy just took your child out your life and you don't have no relationship with your baby, you don't see your baby or nothing, nobody's reaching out to you from the other side, nobody's trying to reconnect you and your child, yeah. Fix it, Jesus. It's crazy how so many people felt like my daughter was better off without a mother. Versus trying to do or say whatever to make sure I stayed in her life or made sure that we had a relationship. Like, to make sure. That's not hard to do. You know, because you're taught as a child to respect your mother and your father. Listen to your mother, listen to your father. Do what they say. Like, these are basic things that you're taught. These are like universal. So for it to skip minds, and I don't know how. I don't know how. That's why we're here every morning. So I want to make sure that everybody that's following me now, I got a lot of people that started following me during summer school. So although they like the summer school sessions, they really don't know what's going on Coffee and Conversation. So I'm trying to bring you back to basics so you'll know exactly why you're here this morning, why you come in every morning to see what we're talking about and why. So it's a little refresher before we get started because we just finished summer school. So we're going into another segment. So I want to make sure everybody's on board. I don't want nobody coming unwillingly. So, would it have taken, considering I'm the mother, and I wanted to be there. Like, I love this job. Yep, I didn't suffer from postpartum depression. Nope, I love my children. When they came, they were a joy for me. Like, the whole motherhood thing, being there for them, teaching them, raising them, all that, I love it. Taking them to school, the hustle and bustle, dealing with traffic, getting them where they gotta go. Yeah, I loved all of that, right? So, hey, Angelina, good morning, sweetie. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, so to not be considered for my role, it's ridiculous, right? It's crazy. It's unheard of. It's not normal. It's not natural. Everything you can think of in this situation, right? So what could have been done? What was the problem? What happened? Why no one said anything to me? Why everybody else was wrong, but I don't? Right? Why wouldn't I want to fix it? Why would I want to be a part of her life? As much work as I put into it, right? Don't nothing make sense in my situation. For my situation to be the way that it is, for there not to be no communication for the last 5 years from the father, from his family, from the child, 5 years, without knowing where my baby is at, what she's doing, who's in her life, who's raising her, who's teaching her how to be a lady, who's teaching her how to be a woman, who's correcting her, who's disciplining. I don't know nothing. And I'm going to tell you, I did the rudest thing not too long ago. I was at my grandson's birthday party, right? And some neighbors, just so happened the baby mama knows some neighbors that we knew when we stayed on Hartwell back in the day. Talking to her about the kids, catching her up on everything, good to see her before I leave. She like, didn't you have another daughter? I walked off. If I ever see her again, I'm definitely going to apologize to her because that was the rudest thing I could ever have done. But I didn't want to talk about the baby. Because what can I say as a mother? The humiliation, the embarrassment, just, I was having a good day. We were celebrating my little grandson. I just walked away, right? And I find myself being guarded like that when it comes to people asking about her, because I have no answers for you. I can tell you what my son is doing. I can tell you what my oldest daughter is doing. I can tell you what my Jay is doing. I can tell you what everybody else is doing. But when it comes to her, I don't know, because I haven't talked to her. So that's part of what they do, your baby mama, your baby daddy, is they have to assassinate your character. So all the manipulation tips that we talk about and that we're going to bring back to light, that's the reason why they do what they do, right? And they're good at it, right? If the main mission is to get you out that child's life, you best believe it don't take but a few manipulation tips used consistently to make it happen. Poof, you're gone, right? Ooh, my phone about to die. I would have had to be living in a shelter with my children, homeless, for my situation to be the way that it is, so dire. Squatting with them, creating an unhealthy and unsafe environment, not able to provide the basic needs, never kept a job, uneducated, mental health issues that has caused me to harm myself and others. She would have had to been physically abused, mentally abused, molested by everybody. The whole family would have had to mistreat her for a father to take a stance to remove her and for her to disown me and not have contact for 5 years. Those would have to be the things that were going on and taking place for him to take that stand and for her to be on board with it and for everybody else to be on board with it, right? But how could that be? I taught those classes that we just talked about. That home ec class, I clean, I taught them how to clean, I cook. They saw me cook, I taught them how to cook. Physical health, I made sure they went to their doctor's appointments. I made sure they ate healthy. I made sure they knew the importance of exercising. Y'all see me exercise all their whole life. Mental health, they were educated because my little brother had some mental health issues after his drink was spiked years ago. Yep, so they had to be educated on the importance of mental health, on the importance of taking your medicine, on the importance of going to your doctor's appointments, on the importance of knowing that there's help for you if you're struggling with any disorder, right? So they were educated on that, right? The life, how to survive in Detroit, how to take care of themselves, right? How being stable, working, paying bills, credit, home ownership, entrepreneurship, right? I educated them on that type of stuff. Politics, y'all just see me with, what's that, what's his name? Hill Harper, yesterday at a breakfast. Politics, I had them volunteering with me at campaigns, right? They went to the office with me, right? I want to run for office, so I was making sure they knew the inner workings of that. So I taught that class. We talked about Black history. They knew where they was from, their ancestors. We talked about my history. They knew where I was from. They knew where our family came from. As much as I knew about our family, they knew, right? So they knew my origin story. They knew where I came from. They knew why I do the things that I do. They knew why I parent them the way that I parent them. Because we've had constant conversations about it, right? So our whole family broke the curse of children having babies at 17. Not just me. Yep, I can't think of any of my little cousins. I have little cousins that have children, but none of them had babies at 17. Fix it, Jesus. Fix it, Jesus. Fix it, Jesus. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. So that was a whole family. So why would a dad remove a child from a family that thinks like that? A family that has values and morals and we're going in that direction? Why? The next step for us would have been teaching how to not have children out of wedlock, or wait until you finish your education. Like that would have been the next phase, because all these classes, I told you, you got to keep teaching them. Some of these classes you got to keep teaching, and then you don't just stop just because your kids is grown, right? So me teaching age appropriately, the second phase for us would have been making sure there are no children before you finish your education, and then there's no children before marriage, to complete the generational curses that I tried to break, right? So raising my children appropriately, to listen, I didn't smoke or drink around them, and I didn't allow anybody else to do it. Some stuff they couldn't even watch if they had nudity, cussing. So age appropriately, yep, I wouldn't let them watch stuff. Cross that 17 mile focus on no kids, I said that. The religion class, I taught that. Y'all just seen me and my son and my daughter just at church 2 Sundays ago. Had them in church all their life. Fix it, Jesus. Fix it, Jesus. So had them in church, taught the religion class, right? Taught the self-worth class. Y'all see me walking around here with all this confidence. You don't think I help my children develop their self-worth? Where they're strong at, where they're weak at. Their confidence, help build their confidence. You don't think I did that? You don't think them seeing me every day dressed up, going out to work, taking on the world, seeing me in different, giving presentations, you don't think that helped with them going towards me teaching them their self-worth? Education. They see me get my bachelor's. I'm about to get my master's. I'm gonna have my own practice. Fix it, Jesus. The ethics class. I taught that. I taught my children how to treat people how they want to be treated, right? Because that's all the ethics class was. Help when you can. Help when you can. Do what's right when nobody's looking. This is all in the ethics class that I taught. I did that. I did that. My children have witnessed me allowing whole families living with us. And I know it was probably hard for them, but they knew who I was, how I was raised. And if I can do and help you, I will. I've had whole families living with me and my kids. Fix it, Jesus. Fix it, Jesus. So they witnessed nothing but me doing kind things and being kind to others, right? So their whole life. So I taught that love class, right? So in addition to that, because what more can I do? I'm a homeowner, so they had a stable lifestyle. Their needs were met and some of their wants. I believe in working, so they seen me get up and go to work ever since I was 16. Kept a job. Right now I'm an entrepreneur, business owner. You still see me working. Every day y'all see me working. They saw me working their whole life, right? I got a cleaning company. This was a family business. My kids was working with me. This is my way to start generational wealth. Fix it, Jesus. Fix it, Jesus. I have a youth program where I deal with children with behavior issues, attitude adjustment. My children were working with me. They volunteered at every event we had. My daughters were mentors for the little girls because they were the perfect example for the little girls to follow. Fix it, Jesus. Fix it. I do painting and drywall, meaning I've taught my children a trade. Fix it, Jesus. My children have came with me on paint jobs, clean outs, tear downs. Fix it, Jesus. Fix it, Jesus. How could a baby daddy not be satisfied with this? Why would a baby daddy fight and disrupt and tear a child out of an environment that's teaching all of this, right? That's how you know it's personal. That's how you know it's personal. What reason would she have to hate me? What reason would she have to disown me? What reason would she have not to be proud of me and want me to be her mother? What reason would the child have, right? So that's why you got to think about how could this be? How could there be nothing for me? If I put in all the effort, the work, the time that it took to teach those classes, in return, I should have a child. I should have a child that's doing what she's doing. I should have a child that goes to a black college or goes to college or furthers their education, period, right? I talk about it in my book, Dysfunctional Family Knot. I talk about I have scenes where I wrote at a time where we were watching different world. We were watching the Cosby Show. It's in my book, Dysfunctional Family Knot. That's how long it was in the plans and it was brewing. Because it was part of my legacy. Everything I do, my accomplishments, my children's accomplishments, my family's accomplishments, all that's part of my legacy. Which is now tarnished and almost ruined now. Right? How could there be nothing for me? How could there be no damage done to her and other people that's involved? My family asks about her all the time. They miss her. I miss her so much. I wake up with a picture of her and her little brother on my dresser. Her little brother meaning that the son that her dad and his wife has. I miss him just as much as I miss my daughter. So I have a picture of them on my dresser. And I wake up and look at them every morning. How could there not be any damage? How could anybody not think that we would miss her and would not miss her? How could nobody not care? So moving forward, we're going to talk about the manipulation tips. We're going to include them in the classes, and we're going to show you how this can happen. How a family can be destroyed and torn apart. And how that can happen just by using these manipulation tips. So y'all, that's it for Coffee and Conversation. I got a lot to do today. I'll come back on when I get to the bar. To clean it, of course, not to hang out. Damn.